Polanco, right? Young upstart kid, Dominican Republic, doing great things. Went on Boxeo Urbano Network with the great Cesar and gave him a good interview. But he said some things about Matias that frankly made me think, okay, I get it. And we're gonna take a look at that interview in that video, and then maybe we'll look at a highlight of two of Polanco in action, so you could get a sense of is he the real deal, right? So we're gonna take a look at that in this video. But first, if you're new here, thank you for picking this video as your source, and also if you're an older subscriber, thank you for the continued support. It has been great. I love it. We have been doing a lot of good numbers in the last few days. Thank you for helping me grow this small community. Like I said, this is really, I don't proclaim to be an expert, and we all learning, maybe at the same time. I learn from you, you learn from me, maybe, I don't know. But I always try to answer every single comment down below, somewhere, somehow. So whether you agree with me, you want to argue with me, you disagree with me, or you're on the fence about anything, I always appreciate the comments, no matter what it is. So please comment down below. Now, let's get to it, because this is a really hefty interview here. This is the interview with Cesar in Boxeo Urbano Network, and we're gonna get right down to it. We're gonna, listen. He said a lot of interesting things, and we're gonna break them down. All right, so let's get right to it. So here's now the beginning of this.
Tú viéndolo como boxeador, quitándonos las banderas Puerto Rico, Dominicana, ¿tú crees que una revancha a quién de los dos se le hace más fácil una revancha que...
So he's just basically asking him, hey, listen, take away the flags and the national pride of both countries, because obviously he's Dominican, right? So he doesn't want him to be biased to Pollo, because Pollo's Dominican, right? So he's like, take that away. Who did you have?
Los dos vieron el examen. Vendría a defender lo que ya quitó. Puello vendría a tratar de recuperar. Tú como boxeador en esa posición, ¿a quién tú verías más fácil en una segunda ocasión?
So he's basically asking him, right, once you remove all of that from the equation, nationalism, who do you think would be better in a rematch? Who do you think has the better chance to come back better, right? That's what he's basically asking.
A Puello.
So there you got the answer.
Te digo por qué.
Cuéntanos, porque eso es lo que quieren oír esta gente aquí.
Matías no va a mejorar. Ya ese es su boxeo. ¿Me entiendes? Ya es así es que pelea. Toda su pelea él va a ser así. Él no tiene un plan B. Pero Puello sí puede mejorar.
So he's basically saying that Matias is Matias. What you see with Matias, what you're always going to get with Matias, right? So, he fights the way he fights. He's never going to change. That's just the way he's going to fight. He has no plan B. If he's behind in the fight, there's no switch up. He's not entirely wrong, because that's what I've said. I've said Matias really just has one way. Even Teddy Atlas said, you don't need me or Eddie Fudge or any other great trainer to tell you what the plan is going to be with Matias, what he has to do. He's going to fight one way, and that's the way we got to do it. Now, having said all of that, is the way Matias fights and the way he has to come into a fight. Does he do it at an elite level, which is still a difficult task to conquer, right? Because even if he has one way, if it's an elite way of fighting for him, if he does it in an elite way, you could have the more tools in your bag, but are all those tools, are you gonna need all of them to make it even close, right? So that's really my whole situation with Matias.
Puello físicamente lo pueden poner más fuerte, porque realmente, la pegada de Puello en esa pelea no se vio, el empuje, el físico, no tenía.
He's saying they're gonna have to work with Puello on a strengthening, conditioning. He didn't look strong. He didn't look like he could back Matias up. Things like that. Now that's what I was saying, and a lot of you didn't tell me that's the way he looks, but I was saying he was looking gaunt, he was looking skinny, right? Way before the fight. So obviously he saw similarly to what I saw. He didn't look imposing, he didn't look like he was strong, like he could have pushed him back. So listen, so far the kid has really told not too many lies, or at least hasn't said nothing that's a crazy take.
Nada para Matías. Tú sabes, él puede mejorar eso. Y ya, él mejora eso, que el físico de él esté mejor, la pegada esté un poco mejor, y algunas combinaciones mejores que le faltaron, tú sabes.
So basically, in a way, and in his interview, he feels like Puello got robbed, but at the same time, he's telling you all the reasons why Puello lost. He was like, he didn't look imposing, he didn't look strong, he didn't back him up, he couldn't push him around. Also, his strength with his punches wasn't looking like they were, making an impact. And also, he was saying his combinations, there was a couple of combinations he could have thrown here and there to make him work. So, okay, you telling me all the reasons why he lost that. Like, you telling me all the reasons why he lost, and then you're gonna say that you think he got robbed. I mean, you just told me why he lost the fight. So I think he knows who, at least in his view, the way he saw it, he might have seen Puello lose. Where I saw Puello win by 1, he obviously saw Puello lose by a close fight, because he's telling me all the reasons why he lost.
Dama tiraba lo mismo,
No change.
Tú sabes, él puede mejorar. Yo siento que en una revancha él puede ganar la pelea.
Tú del lado de boxeador, fíjate la bandera. Del lado de boxeador, es un zurdo, un derecho, siempre va a tener cabezazo. Lo han exagerado por ahí en un video.
Cesar saying that basically because it's a southpaw against an orthodox fighter, that they exaggerated the headbutting and the dirty fighting, and that's not true. Now here, that is not really Puello being dirty. Now, here's what Polanco says that got me raising an eyebrow. That maybe if things get tough for Polanco, something that he might do.
Video que hicieron, eso es exagerado, eso es repitiendo cosas y la gente, tu gente siempre amarra y eso.
No le quitan puntos.
They didn't take away no points.
No le quitaron puntos. Ajá.
No le quitan un punto, entonces es una pelea por un título mundial.
They didn't take away points.
César, en una pelea por un título mundial se vale todo.
It's a world title fight.
¿Entiendes? Entonces,
so if it's a world title fight, anything goes. So what he's telling me really is that he condones the cheating if it has to be. If he has to be dirty, if he has to headbutt, if he has to maybe hit low, if he maybe has to hit on a clinch, on a break, right? It's a world championship fight. All goes. That's what he just said. So you get into the mentality a little bit about how he thinks. So maybe if he gets behind in a fight, do we see Polanco maybe headbutt on purpose, hit off on a break on purpose, hit low on purpose, elbow on purpose? I don't know. He said it, not me. He said all goes because it's a world championship fight. So,
entonces, yo siento que está bien. Para la próxima, en la revancha, si se da con Dios por delante, yo siento que él puede hacer un mejor trabajo porque realmente.
Basically, he's saying he could still get better. So he's telling me all the reasons why he could get better. So I don't.
Nah.
Es fácil.
Sí. No, sí, ese tipo.
Right here.
Ese tipo no sabe. Fácil. Porque realmente. Yo sé que ustedes los boricuas van a decir ya con esto, pero Matías es fácil.
Easy work.
Ese tipo es fácil.
Easy work.
Ese tipo no sabe nada.
He don't know nothing. He doesn't know
es fácil.
anything.
No, sí, ese tipo.
That guy.
Ya, no le veo nada realmente.
I don't see nothing.
Pero.
I don't see nothing in him.
Si Subriel te dice que baje a las 40 ahora mismo, que él te dé una oportunidad por el título, ¿tú vas a las 40 y la coges?
Con mucho gusto.
Cesar asked him, if he challenges you right now, says, yo, come down 140, I give you a title shot, what would you do?
Me encantaría que eso pase.
I would love it because he's easy.
Y si tú ganas el título en las 47, ¿tú te atreves a decirle que suba? Porque él está grandecito, mira, tú lo viste al lado de Teófimo, él está
grande. He's saying, if
grande.
you capture a world title at 147, we tell him to come up and fight you at 147 because Matias looks big. If you saw him next to Teófimo Lopez, he looked like a big dude.
Él está como tú sabes, que salen parejos.
Como yo no.
He said, not like me. I'm not like
como
me.
yo no, yo soy muy bestia para él.
I'm too much of a beast.
Yo estoy muy fuerte para él y muy grande también para él.
I'm too big for him.
Realmente, él es muy chiquito para mí.
He's not
pero
as big as
te digo la verdad, a mí me encantaría pelear con él. Para callarle la boca a alguna gente, para que ustedes vean que él no es un toro nada. ¿Entiendes? Él le mete presión porque él no ha peleado con gente.
He said he's never fought with no killers.
Es que yo estoy con el mejor, César. ¿Me entiendes? Yo tengo el mejor en mi esquina, ¿me entiendes?
He said I have a better corner, I have a better game plan, I have better everything. Here's the thing with Polanco he doesn't fail to realize. You might have a bigger bag of tools. I said this before in this video. You might even be stronger. You might even be bigger. But experience, you have to be exceptional. exceptional elite prospect. To defeat a 2-time world champion that's still relatively in his prime, still relatively doing what he always done, and has all the experience in the world that you don't. Experience sometimes will take out an exceptional talent. I've seen it. I've seen it not just in boxing, in other forms of combat, where you have a slightly above average fighter in any discipline you pick, and then you have an exceptional prospect, and all of a sudden the experience rears its ugly head, and the inexperience rears its uglier head, and then all of a sudden you ruin a prospect. Esos que juegan gallitos saben lo que estoy hablando. I just said that for my Spanish speaking folks. They know what I'm talking about.
Y me enseña todo.
En resumida, cabrón, resumida.
So let's get
ya yo te conozco y conozco tu vocabulario y conozco cómo sabes. Tú creciste aquí. Tú creciste aquí cuando aquellos decían que tú eras un...
I think this is where is that here.
Que realmente no pega.
Oh yeah, right here.
No.
So he's saying,
a ver si es verdad que porque es otra cosa que la gente dice que esto, pero Subriel realmente no pega.
Hard. He don't hit hard.
No pega, Subriel.
That's what he's saying.
¿Tú crees que él pega?
He said, you think he hits?
Yo creo que
You
pega.
think he can punch?
Yo creo que apoyo. Yo creo que apoyo.
Él ha tumbado una gente de un trompón.
He says,
no, pero
does he have one punch knockout power? And Cesar's like, I think he can crack. As Cesar was saying, trying to say in there, I think if you ask Puello in private, he'll tell you that he did hurt him.
Acumulando también cuando te la pone el cuerpo duro.
Acumulando y pegada.
He said
son diferentes.
Cumulative punching power and one punch power is two different things.
¿Entiendes? Lo lastimó a Puello algún día.
Lo lastimó.
He said, did he hurt Puello at all? And he goes like, yeah, he hurt him.
Lo lastimó.
¿En qué momento?
Yo creo que como en el 8º, 9º lo lastimó. Y Puello le sintió Puello se estaba... O sea, tú conoces...
He said you could tell when Puello was favoring the body, like he got to my body.
Como trabaja el boxeo y Puello se estaba tocando porque le estaban doliendo al cuerpo también. Y sí, Puello, y tú puedes hablar con Puello en privado y preguntarle en privado, güey, ¿le sentiste la pegada? Las manos se sintieron. Yo le voy a pedir a Puello ganar, ¿verdad? Dominicano, pero sí cubano contra cubano en tu división en 47.
He just asked them in your division at 147. We've seen Puerto Ricans versus Puerto Ricans, we've seen Cubans versus Cubans, but we've never really seen Dominican versus Dominican. If Puello was to go up to 147 and you had a title, would you give him a shot? Would you fight him?
Y ese gancho.
So what you trying to corner me, bro?
Gancho. Aquí las preguntas son parejas de yo nada más te está con Juan. ¿Cómo tú le verías? ¿Cuánto tú respetas a Puello? Porque a Subriel, pues de la boca para afuera le dijiste a Subriel, hay que respetarlo porque es 2 veces campeón mundial, pero del corazón para afuera dijiste, me lo gano con Puello.
No, Puello es dominicano, yo no peleo con dominicanos.
He says, I don't fight with Dominicans. Puello's Dominican, I don't fight with Dominicans.
Okay.
Right there, that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. Now you ducking every good fighter that might be Dominican because you're saying they're Dominican. Kind of like when Canelo Alvarez said, I won't fight no Mexicans, because insinuating that David Benavidez is half Mexican. That I don't fight Mexicans, therefore a fight with David Benavidez wouldn't be feasible for me. I don't fight other Mexicans. And then he went ahead and fought other Mexicans after that. But, whatever. This is what you're telling me is you don't have confidence that you're going to beat Puello. That's what you're telling me. So you're going to use I don't fight Dominicans. You know what I'm saying? I don't fight Dominicans because I'm Dominican and that's my country, so I'm not gonna fight Dominicans. So if it came down to unification undisputed and you had a chance to fight another Dominican for the title because there was another champion in your division that was Dominican, you wouldn't fight him. You would forego being undisputed because they're Dominican. Only if they were easy Dominican, you would take it. I bet you, 110%. But Puello's like, ooh, Puello, I don't know about that. So you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Listen. I don't know. I think this kid, he's good. Polanco's good. But experience, world-class, elite fighting, that all takes precedence. And I don't think he has shown to be exceptional. He's shown to be an elite prospect. Has he shown to be exceptional? I don't think. Not yet. I don't think. I mean, I have to see it. So let's take a quick look right here. What I mean. So this is him against Maidana. Now he dominated Maidana. Maidana didn't win a round. So let's not pretend like he did. He doesn't have. He has good hand speed, Polanco, but he doesn't have exceptional hand speed. Now he caught Maidana there. Now, like I was saying, Maidana. I don't see Maidana. I don't view Maidana as a world class stepping stone. Right? There's elite and world class. World class is below elite. So he did what he did. That he's supposed to do to people who are below his level. So I'm not gonna get mad at that. But if you see, sometimes, and now again, Maidana is not Subriel. You know, there was a couple times in this fight like that, and well, good defensive responsibility there by Polanco. But that first power jab got through. And there were other instances where, you know, Maidana got through Polanco. Not enough to hurt him, not enough to win the round. But that shows me, okay, what if now Puello or Matias gets to you? What if that's the fight that you got next? Right there, see that? Quick right hand? That got through, right? I mean, we're not talking about an elite guy. Again, right there, Maidana connected again. Again, not enough to win rounds and not enough to win the fight, obviously. But we can't be throwing, you know, stones when we live. Maybe at least in a glass house, or at least have some rooms in the house that are glass. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, Polanco has a lot of upside, no doubt about it. Polanco looks like a beast of a prospect. But is he at the level where I would say, hey, put him in there with Matias or even Puello? Right now, no. Because he might beat the easy work. You know what I'm saying? He might be the easy work. That was a good body shot right there. At the end. Boom. Nicely placing the solar plexus. You know what I'm saying? Polanco, to me, looks like a great prospect, right? An elite prospect, a blue chip. But for him to say that Matias is easy work, for him to say that he wouldn't find another Dominican, all those things are fallacies, right? Because it's like, okay, listen, bro, experience. I think if you step in the ring with Matias right now, you probably get stopped. If not, I'll work almost every single round. You'll have flashes because you're an elite prospect, but you won't win that fight. Right now, no. Puello, I think, also has a even easier time than Matias would, only because styles make fights. And Puello will pick you off on the outside. You don't have the kind of pressure that Matias brought to Puello to make it a close fight and to, you know, take away some of those tools that Puello has. You don't fight the same way Matias does that. Therefore, I think he keeps you at bay easier. Could you catch Puello a couple times? Sure. Could you knock out Puello? I don't know. Can you knock out Matias? Certainly not. Matias has shown to have a world-class chin. So at the end of the day, Polanco, and I'm glad, you know, and since I pushed back on some of those statements that he made, and I'm glad he did, because it made no sense. Not at this stage. I mean, listen, but it's great promotion for him. So I get it. I'm not mad at it. We're just analyzing what he's saying. But anyway, you let me know. What do you think? Do you think that Polanco was out of pocket, talking about the way he was talking about disrespecting Matias in the way that he did, saying that he was easy? Or do you think that he's saying the facts, that he's easy for him, and you think that either at 140, 147 is an easy fight for Polanco? You think this is where Polanco is at right now? He's at that elite level. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.